of shit. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Durag Shark. Today, I got the engine running. You saw that in the last video, but I discovered that the alternator is not charging.
No alternator though. It's not one thing, it's another, right?
So I need to swap that out, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go back to putting on a full-size standard pulley with some shims. The shims should make it so that it's no longer rubbing on the screws. I'll show you when we get into it. By the way, beer of the day, Modelo Negro. Hey, I like cheap Mexican beer. Don't judge. This is the alternator we're going to use for the 1835 out there. This is the 2180 that I pulled out because it leaked a lot. Mostly out of the cylinder bases. But this alternator worked just fine. I hadn't used it for the other build because I had one that was supposed to work. But the other one, not only is it not charging, and here's a clip. So not only was it not charging, but when the engine would stop, either from cranking, I would stop it, or if it's running and I shut the engine off. Either way, you would hear a squeal come out of the bearings. You know, I really hate cheap aftermarket shit. This screw, trying to loosen it, and I can feel it spinning inside. So the welded on nut on the inside of this fan shroud broke off. Now, considering I have zero access to that until I get the alternator out of there, means that I am pretty much screwed. Piece of shit. I hate junk. Alright, there it is. So there's the hole. See, in here, there's a nut welded to the back. Focus. But here there's nothing. Because this is what was inside. You see the welds just broke loose, no big deal. And feeling underneath, I don't think those welds were, yeah, they were like cold welds. They weren't, they didn't really weld the metal. Might as well have used super glue. Anyway, it's out. And look at how grungy that is. Holy crap. When I break this loose, I think I'm going to throw this fan in the ultrasonic cleaner and see how much of this crap we can get off. something, or a socket. Can't get a socket past this exhaust. That's why in the other video it was so wobbly. So here's the problem I was having before. You can't really see it there, but these bolts protrude just enough so that they tear up they cut into the pulley. Which is weird because this same pulley and that same pump and those same screws were on the other engine, no problem. So what I'm going to try to do is use some shims to give it a little more space to work with. So I used all 4 that came in the kit. And we are clearing. Let's see what happens when we crank it down. One thing I can do. Oh, that's better. Ha! Just had to flip the washer over. There we go. Let's double check and make sure. Oh yeah, we're clear. Nice. It's still playing on. Now, that carburetor's full of gas, so we don't want to tip it over. And we also don't want to accidentally drop anything in the intake manifold. Alternator stand. Alright. Got it. So we're looking here at the difference between the Bosch alternator and the Motorola version. Both are internally regulated, but the Bosch has it actually inside the housing, whereas the Motorola has this big brick on the outside. Aside from that, I'm sure they both work just fine, but I kind of like the Bosch design better because you got a little more room to play with. This thing kept getting in the way of the carburetor, and it took some fiddling to get everything lined up. But without that big brick here, I'll have a lot more space. So these are the two fans that I had. This one came on the broken alternator. I have no idea if either of these are OEM, but I doubt it, especially the newer one. I'll show you that one in a sec. But I mean, the welds seem to be decent. I don't see any issues there, but look at the thickness of the fan. The newer black one is significantly thicker. See that? I don't know how to show you that so that you can see it, but take my word for it, this one's way thicker. Shit, that was easier than I expected. These ones up top where they're visible. I should probably turn these in a touch cleaner too. And you know, with the curb out of the way, it's rather nice. Now you heard me bitching about the crappy aftermarket fan shroud that the other engine had. Yeah, you heard me bitching about it. This is the same shit. This isn't any better. I'm not happy about that, but I was having a really hard time finding a decent doghouse fan shroud. That's better. Is that good? Alright. This one right here is B+. That's straight to the battery. So that's going to be the thick, let's see if you can see, there we go, the thickest wire most likely. So that one's an easy one. This green wire with the spade connector, you see that? That goes to the indicator lamp on the dash. You really, really, really need this, not just to tell you when there's a problem, but also you need the resistance from the lamp to get the alternator going. It's bizarre how that works. And this is just a ground. So this is where it was originally, since this is the alternator that was originally on this engine. It was just in this little ground screw that they've got here. Yeah, that fits much better than with the other alternator. There's a lot more space here. I don't know. Might be alright. It's not the next step. I was just curious. That's where I'm working. See that? So what did I miss? What did I forget? That. Without that, there's nothing for the, where did this go? Nothing for the spring to attach to. Like that. So the throttle can't return. Hence the name throttle return spring. Okay, I'm a dumbass. I should have said that first.